The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Albert Einstein.
Thank you for joining us for our 9th episode of Sex, Drugs, and Spirituality. As we learn about intuitive guidance as a spiritual healing modality and what you can expect during an intuitive guidance session. But before we dive into our main topic, please allow us a moment to introduce ourselves. I'm Jackie Lyons of Akashic Energy Healing.
And I'm Elizabeth Maria of Elizabeth Maria Unlimited. And together, we're the hosts of Sex, Drugs, and Spirituality, where we navigate the power of personal growth and self-discovery through the exploration and acceptance of our shadow selves. So today we are discussing, first off, what is intuitive guidance? And then we will move on into an actual session. And then, the question is intuitive guidance right for me during my spiritual awakening, for those out there listening. And so I can start with saying what intuitive guidance isn't. It is not therapy. Therapy, based on the American Psychological Association, is a service provided by a trained professional that primarily uses forms of communication and interaction to assess, diagnose, and treat dysfunctional emotional reactions, ways of thinking, and behavioral patterns. Intuitive guidance does not treat the individual, nor looks at the individual as having a dis-ease or a dysfunction. Intuitive guidance, it works from the premise that all individuals are already whole and complete. And so it's more about realigning with our whole selves. And so an intuitive practitioner guides the individual to learn how to intuitively heal themselves. So what I do individually is that I help to guide clients to unblock their own or, declutter or to release debris that are in their own energy centers or chakras through a variety of healing modalities, specifically sound healing, scripting, affirmations. I also do it's like reimagining exercises with clients where we actually go and reimagine a certain scene or a point in their lives that they want to reframe. I also focus on nutrition. And so chakra imbalances can be healed through, eating certain foods for that part of your body, through movement meditation and energy focus and energy healing with tarot and oracle cards, so divination. And I believe that, teaching a client or introducing a client to several different healing modalities can help the client decide, which ones they kind of intuitively gravitate towards. And so I've had some clients that, I just focus on more like meditation and chakra and really don't bring the divination in at all. So moving forward, so I use my background in my social work training from Florida State University, my experience as a teacher, lecturer, and mentor at Athens Technical College and at the University of North Georgia, and also my own experiential learning through my own spiritual healing journey to offer my clients different tools, different healing modalities to help awaken their innate abilities to heal themselves. So through the use of intuitive counseling modalities, such as the ones that I just mentioned, I help individuals learn to trust their own inner guidance system in order to discover and implement healthy life choices for growth, well-being, and empowerment. So there's many different types of intuitive guides, and all of us, offer some type of structure and support during certain points along the individual's spiritual journey. Um, this is a kind of a quote from shantyhealing.com, and it goes, intuitive insights and guidance are offered to navigate your life journey, bring guidance from spirit, and find more clarity into any situation in order to support your next action steps. So, again, guidance to and structure to help you get from really point A to point B, and to guide you, not to direct you, right? And this is a definition of intuitive guidance from the website Life of an Empath. It is a means of connecting to our inner knowing, allowing us to receive guidance and direction on our path. It is a way of tuning into our intuition, right, through setting intentions and mindfulness activities and trusting ourselves to make the best decisions for our growth and well-being. It is the inner voice that guides us through life's challenges and helps us tap into our innate wisdom. This guidance is unique to each individual as it comes from within and is deeply connected to our personal experiences and beliefs. And again, I think this is why, when I said that each individual that I work with is different, or that, any intuitive guide works with is different. And so an intuitive guidance session will be tailored around the individual's needs. It's kind of like, the teacher comes when the student is ready. And, just in my own path, I've worked with many teachers. One of my favorite is Tina Tinsley. She owned 100 acres right near here, and she was an earth-based therapist, and I worked with her for nearly a decade. During the accelerated part of this spiritual journey that I've been on, I've had two different like spiritual business coaches, and I also did a month-long shadow retainer, and then I also have a trauma-based social worker that I work with as well. So I believe that, and then I've also done one-on-one sessions with a number of intuitive guides during this, and from each one I've learned new types of modalities and have made some friends along the way, and I've just learned different ways to heal and to implement uh, this the tools on this journey, if you will. I wanted to ask you, Jackie, because I'm talking a lot. Like, have you worked with intuitive guides, or any teachers along your path?
I have had, I kind of like to think that everyone along my journey is teaching me something.
Yeah,
And
love that.
specifically reaching out to a intuitive guide, I did work with a beautiful lady named Aquaria. Her Instagram is dripping with devotion. She was at the spiritual retreat that I was at, and she really focuses on women healing women. And
Mm,
she came to me at a really auspicious time, and I continue to work and follow along with her as well. But she's really the only one that I have sought out in this sense. But
right.
yes, I like to think that each person along my journey has taught me so much. And having such amazing friends within the spiritual community, I couldn't undervalue the benefits that you all have had on my journey so far.
Absolutely. And, I mean, you have definitely taught me so much, since I guess it's been a couple years now that we've been friends. And I mean, you really are the one that introduced me to the Akashic Records. So thank you. I'd like to think of my role as an intuitive guide. I'm like an energetic catalyst. Like, I have found, and just in, and not even in like structured intuitive guidance sessions, but just with the people that come into my life, that I act as like a catalyst in their lives. Like I've even said to people, like people usually find me when they're at a crossroads, where they're, they have decisions to make. They're, at this place in their life, and then I act as like a catalyst. I'm really good at like spearheading things, projects, working with, that's why, my background is also working with nonprofits and businesses to help, as a visionary, really, to help people kind of gather the momentum and the energy that they need to move forward. So I definitely feel like I am a, I catalyze individuals into action. And then I'm also act as like a cheerleader on the sidelines. I like to think of myself as like a hype woman, like, like a Flavor Flav of the spiritual world. You can do it, and I love that energy. And if I, if I align with your vision, I am 150% in. Like that's just how it is. Um, and so anyway, so someone can seek out intuitive guidance for, many different reasons. Some of the top reasons are really wanting more structure during their own personal development journey, wanting to address and clear out old patterns that no longer serve, healing relationships, having questions or confusion as to your direction and your career. This is really one of my favorite focuses, and I'm excited that that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I actually dabbled with the idea of doing just straight up career counseling. That was a topic that I always integrated into my English 1101 courses, and I taught for over a decade. So we would always work with the career counselors at the university. And because I just felt that it was so important to give the students options. So that's really a topic that's dear to my heart. So I'm excited about that. Or love, or just, wanting to learn about spiritual healing modalities in general, and learning in a more controlled environment which ones work best for you. It's kind of like you can do it on your own. But like for me, I get a lot more out of a yoga class if I actually go to the class and pay for it than if I do a video. Now I'll go through a whole video, but I may not push myself as hard, and not that intuitive guidance is going to push you, but you know what I mean? Like just the, I guess maybe, just the energy of maybe the checks and balances of it as well, is good. So today we are going to do a intuitive guidance session. We're structuring this as like if you were to check my website, this would be a one-time intuitive guidance session. And so we are going to do this guidance session today with my wonderful co-host, Jackie Lyons. Thank you, Jackie, for being my guinea pig. Not, I shouldn't say that, for being my beta princess.
I like that one.
Jackie has asked us today to focus on her career for this session. And while we are going to focus on career, this session will also serve to give our listeners a general information about how an intuitive guidance session would go for you, and just you'll learn some information about clearing energy, sound healing, chakras, and tarot. So it will be interesting, and I'm real excited to see how it all unfolds. Jackie, would you like to tell our listeners what brought you to wanting to focus on career in your session today, and what you hope to receive from this session?
Yes, thank you. And I do want to say how excited I am to have this session with you. I know a couple years back we did a little trade of service, but it's been quite a while since we've actually taken this step, and to do it live for our listeners today is really exciting. So I'm so happy that you can share your gift with us. But as of lately, I have really been having some intuitive thoughts about expanding on the energy healing that I do within my own business. And I felt this call to work with the universal life force energy, specifically felt called to Reiki. And I have started my certification and I have completed my level 1 certification for Reiki. And I was really hoping for you to kind of just jump in and pick up some of the energy, see if there is what the energy is reading. Am I picking up on those intuitive thoughts in the right ways or anything that could
Mhm.
be hindering my process? That would kind of be where my mindset is on this. It's a big step, working with these healing energies. I do feel called to expanding in that sense in more of a physical way than the current work that I'm doing. So that is the focus for me today.
Okay, excellent. In a more physical way, do you mean like are you thinking like your business, expanding your business in a physical way, or
I would say both. Currently, the majority of my work, actually, all of my work is done online. But I
Mhm.
do see myself in the future having my own wellness retreat, or wellness
Right.
center, we'll say. And I would like to take clients on in the physical. I would like
Okay.
to get out of necessarily always being online and working with my hands and clients in a face to face setting. And I just was really called. There was an instance, and maybe we'll chat about it a little later if there's some time, but that really sparked my interest in healing in this sense. And that's kind of why I've been, going back and forth for quite a while about it. And then I finally just decided to take the leap.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm all about leaps, so take that leap, girl. Okay, well, I am so excited. I'm so excited, and we'll see what Great Spirit has to show us today. So let's just go ahead and cleanse the energy first. You're going to hear 3 loud tones from my Tibetan bowl. During this, you can just, breathe and just get your energy centered. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Spirit, for allowing us to connect energetically. Thank you, Great Spirit, for protecting our space as we connect. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Spirit, for allowing me to be a conduit, to be a guide. Thank you. Ooh, okay, I'm feeling the energy. I'm gonna light some sage now. I always want to protect, the space around. If I'm doing this in person, I would do the same thing. I believe that because we are frequency, we are all energy, that it really doesn't matter if, it's through the phone or Zoom or whatever, that you can do energy healing all across, the world. Especially, but it's always important to protect your space, to put a bubble of protection around the technology that you're using. You can also use, I believe, what is it, shungite? Is that yeah, the crystal that's really good for, dealing with those buggers that come off our technology. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move in to a little sound healing. We're going to start with a quick chakra sound bath. And so brains are, 95% water. And I just recently learned that, like, our bodies are like 60 or 70%, but our brains are mostly water. And so sound frequency and sound healing has been used, of course, as a healing modality for a millennia. And through my work with sound healing, I have learned that the sound healing has been just recently approved to treat cancer cells, right? And so, through sound healing, really what we're doing, because it travels quicker through water than through air, that it's actually going into our, the molecular structure of our brain. And let me go down to, God, I'm trying to remember the word. I believe it's entrapment, when it's like the frequencies of the sound, of the healing sounds, and the actual frequency of the cells, like, begin to sync up and coincide. So it's really beautiful. So I like to start all of my sessions with a quick sound bath. And hold on one second. Let me get here. So what we're going to do before we get into the sound bath, I'm just going to describe the sounds that you're going to hear. And I know that you are familiar with the energy points or the chakras, but for our listeners, I'm just going to go through each chakra name, and then I'm going to give you the tone that is associated with each chakra. Okay. And so basically, this is on the assumption that each energy point is connected, through sound, color, all kinds of different vibrations or whatever. So, and I hope I'm explaining that. That sounds pretty good, Jackie? Yeah. I'm still
Yes,
working.
no, it definitely sounds great. And for our listeners, not that, I think it's good to have that more extended version for them.
Yeah. Right, absolutely. Okay, and so we're going to be going through. We're going to start at the root chakra. Okay, and so the root is the symbol is called the BG symbol, or the BG sound, and that's like basically the sound of the chakra. And I do kind of have a scratchy voice right now, and so bear with me. So the root is Lam, the sacral is Vam. The solar plexus is Ram. The heart chakra is Yam. The throat chakra is Hum. The third eye chakra is Om. And the crown chakra is Ah. Okay. And so we could, sit with each one of those tones and use it to make a chant, use it for meditation purposes. And that in itself can help clear, or declutter or whatever our energy centers. And really, our energy centers can get blocked by so many different ways, through the environment, through energetic connections with other people, through absorbing other people's. I mean, there's just so many ways. So, it's never like a self admonishment or anything, like, oh, my root chakra is blocked, and blame it on someone else or whatever. But anyway, so those are the the BG, excuse me, the BG symbols. And I think that's how it's pronounced. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen to each one of those symbols in a quick sound bath. Excuse me, a sound bath. Now, if this was a full session, a full, sound healing, intuitive guidance session, I would probably go through the whole meditation with the client. But for this, we'll just kind of listen to just a little bit to each sound, and as it is correlated to an instrument as well. Excuse me. And so, well, we know that my throat chakra is definitely a little cluttered. Okay, let's get here. Okay, guys. So here we go. Let me get to the beginning. And what I will do for each seed syllable or BG syllable sound that we hear, starting with the root, I will just say, and here is the root chakra. And as we're listening, I would ask the client, so you, Jackie, you can just close your eyes. And, sometimes I like to add a little bit of movement meditation, where your body can just sway a little bit to the music, and just kind of feel which sounds resonate with you more than the others, and if anything kind of comes up from listening. Okay, Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the following chakra chant meditation by Kathleen Carlson includes the seed syllables that activate each chakra along with the instrument for that chakra. And so as we listen along, I will tell you which chakra each chant is playing. First is root. Second is sacral. Third is solar plexus. Fourth is heart. Fifth is throat. Sixth is third eye. And seventh is crown. So beautiful. And so for each chakra, it is associated with the seed syllable, and you can make your own chants from them to help you to balance your chakra based on the sound of your own voice. Okay, and so now we just listen to the chakra seed syllables accompanied with instruments. And now we're going to move into an individual chakra BG tone test that you can give yourself to see where you're vibrating at, and if any energy centers feel imbalanced or not. And how you do that is we will go through each one of the chakra sounds, Jackie, and we'll start with the root. Okay, and for those of you at home, we are using a chart that we can post somewhere, if anyone's interested, or just send an email and I'll send it to you. But Jackie, we're going to use these charts, and again, you can either use the BG syllable, the do, re, mi, or the vowel, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I encourage you to sit up straight as you do this, okay? And so this is just like a personal check-in that you can do with your own vocal sound healing, because voice in itself is a form of healing. You can think of, the lullabies that babies listen to, right? So our voice is a healing instrument. Okay, so we will start with the root.
Hey, I think I'm going to do the do, re, mi one because I remember the song and now it just
Yeah.
kind of, now you said lullaby. So I feel like So just slowly through it, or
Yeah, well, I'll just say the root chakra and then you do, just breathe and then say
okay.
the um the syllable. Okay. So root,
Do,
sacral,
re,
solar,
mi,
heart,
fa,
throat,
so,
third eye,
la,
crown,
ti,
root,
do,
sacral,
re,
solar,
mi,
heart,
fa,
throat,
so,
third eye,
la,
crown,
ti,
root,
do,
sacral,
re,
solar,
mi,
heart,
fa,
throat,
so,
third eye,
la,
crown.
ti.
So breathe into that. So I asked you to repeat it several times because I was seeing, which one, like if there was any of them that I felt kind of, were out of kind of sync. And I'd really love to hear because again, with intuitive guidance, it's not about my interpretations, but it's about us together kind of, unweaving different patterns and looking at different things. So I did feel that there was like a little bit of more breath with the sacral chakra, with the ray. That was the area and that was, and I heard it the second time and the third time through. And that was really all I saw that may have some, debris. And what about you? Did you feel
Yeah,
anything?
I actually, that's funny that you said that because that's the one that I felt, I don't know,
Yeah,
almost like I wanted to laugh or
yeah.
something. Like it was, yeah, interesting.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting. And so, we know that the chakras are gateways to, there are energetic levels, right? And so, which one do we say? The sacral chakra,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, let me go here. So the sacral is all about the creativity and the sexual center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the sacral chakra is just below the navel, and it's all about where manifestation starts. Okay. And it can get blocked very easy. And this is actually interesting that this is the one that we both, saw that might have some imbalance to it. And it's definitely gets blocked easier in cultures that prioritize work over play, right? And it's interesting just knowing you, and I know how driven you are, and we're focusing this whole this whole session on career. So sacral chakra it is. And so a wonderful affirmation for you: joy is my birthright.
I love that. Joy is my
Right.
birthright.
Yeah. And so when it is, out of balance, it can, you can come across as either overactive, codependent, judgmental, addictive behaviors, fear of intimacy. This
Have
is
you
connected.
listened to the previous podcast episodes?
Yeah. Right. The lower back, this comes out with, pain in the lower back, kidneys, reproductive, right? And so this is, definitely about learning energy management, right? Learning that it is a daily practice. I know with one of the spiritual business coaches that I worked with, that she used to make me like every session, okay, Elizabeth, we're going to draw a pie. And in this pie, we're going to put me time, and the amount of things that I used to try to put in that pie in a day. Like when I look back now, and I do say for all clients, and definitely encourage you to keep a little journal notebook, because I definitely am someone that gives like written affirmations and things like that. But yeah, so the solar plexus, excuse me, the sacral, I don't know why I said the solar, but the sacral plexus is your area. And after we do the next tarot reading, I will give you some more information about some, uh, ways to kind of, help balance out the chakra center, and nutritional ways as well, because I'm very, very big into mind body and with a focus on body spirit balance. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Anything else about sacral? That's pretty okay. So we have your affirmation, joy is my birthright. And this is, it's all about really like leaning into your creativity, so asking yourself, what can I do in my life to create opportunities for play, right? Being a responsible adult does not mean I have to put my toys away. So this is all about making room for play for you.
And it
Um,
has been, more of a challenge in that area for me to allow myself, because I spent a lot of time playing in my younger years. So now really learning to incorporate that back in a balanced way, it has been a focus and a challenge because of some of the challenges I had faced, in that aspect, and just having that healthy balance. So you really picked
right.
up on that.
Yeah, and I feel that, a lot of people are like that. Like you're almost like, I don't have time to play right now, or, I've done enough of that. Now but yeah, because, there is no past, there is no future. So it's all right now. And so it's finding balance in this moment now, regardless what stories you're telling yourself about how you behaved in the past.
Yes,
I
and thank you for the reminder.
Yes, that's why I'm here, darling. Um, so what I'm gonna do with the cards, I'm just shuffling right now. I'm feeling the energy through. So tonight, because we're focusing on career, I decided to try a new spread. And I just thought that this would be fun. And I love using tarot as a symbolic way to connect to energy. I feel that after, we did our sound healing meditation a little bit, that we're in an energetic, a good place right now. I did have one card that just flew out for me. So, and this is wonderful because it's the 10 of Pentacles. And yes.
I'll take it.
Yes. And so let me get here. And so the 10 of Pentacles is all about property, family, and inheritance. The upright 10 of Pentacles shows an inheritance, generosity, and a love relationship that brings wealth and happiness. So, let's see. This is also about, this is inherited property. This could also be about buying a second home or extending a second home. This is a time that you also benefit from sharing your time, your resources, your skills, or money to help out, to help like family out. This could be, note that families and contact signifies those that you consider family and treat as such. So this could relate to a close circle of friends. This card also suggests that you're maturing. So you can interpret this in financial terms with investing, and investments maturing, as well as in emotional terms, right? You may find that an older person in the family has wisdom to share in addition to resources. Okay. And so this is, the 10 of Pentacles, and I'm going to leave that up because this is, in expanding your business to more of a brick and mortar. That's something that you are wanting to do. You're moving into wanting to use new healing modalities within your individual practice, and then you're also wanting to expand. And so I think this is an excellent card for that.
That
So
card and everything, the way you read it, sums up the way I plan my life to be.
yeah,
So, with
exactly.
like, if that's the overall energy of what I'm
Yes,
trying to get out of this reading,
yes,
you hit it spot on the nose.
yes,
Because it is with my
exactly.
family, it is about moving, it is creating a legacy of inheritance that I can pass on to my children. Like, I mean, you could not have worded it more clearly to what it is that my goal is in life is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's excellent because that's the first card. And so, and then this card just flew out. So this is your second card. And so, I'm just going to pull out because it's 6 cards for this reading. And I'm just feeling it now. I'm holding the cards up. So if you want me to get the rest of the cards, just tell me, when to stop and I'll
Oh, I
stop.
feel like we're connected. So I'll let
Yeah.
you take that in. And I
Okay.
trust that spirit will give us the right cards that for what I need to
Yeah.
hear.
Okay. I mean, that was like the first two just popped right out.
I mean, I'd
Like
just be happy with that first card, but I'm sure there's more
I
lessons in there.
always okay, let me see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more. Thank you, Great Spirit, for all of the guidance. Thank you. I just love it. I just love how these cards just connect so beautifully. Okay, and then we have there's a bunch. Okay. Which one is it? Which one? Tell me, Great Spirit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the next card, and this is pretty cool. Okay, so for the second card placement for this spread, and again, I am doing, a spread that focuses on career and creating your dream job. So the next card is going to show us what is the first step that I need to take to begin my dream career. And we know that you have already started, but we are, energetically going from where you are in this now moment. So from here, right? And your second card, and this is really pretty cool because your second card is the moon. Okay, so this is be guided by messages from your unconscious. So this is connected to the third eye for intuition, right? The numerology link is to the hermit. Okay, this is the key meetings, illusion, dreams, and it can be a crisis. So the moon's traditional meaning is a crisis of faith and a period of emotional vulnerability. It reveals misgivings about a situation, as you cannot be sure if what you are seeing is the truth. And so the moon, under the light of the moon, is what you are seeing an illusion, or does the moon bring to light the essence of a problem that needs attention? This may be time of deep emotional conflict, and the struggle is private rather than shared. You have a decision to make, and to choose wisely, you need to rely on your senses, so your intuition. Take note of your intuitive messages and dreams right now and acknowledge them as valid sources of information that will lead you in the right direction. The moon can show you being asked to take a risk, okay, to broaden your life experience. The prospect may make you uncomfortable, but the moon asks you to dive deep and examine the real cause of unrest. And so for career, you may achieve a goal, but ultimately feel it was not worth the effort. With colleagues, emotions run high, and you may need to protect yourself from others' negativity. Money matters are stable, but you want more satisfaction from work than just a paycheck. So again, this goes with card shows what are the first steps that I need. And so the big thing that I got from this, I mean, it seems like there's some disillusionment going, and that, kind of like you're told in several different ways that says that you do have some decisions to make. And that, one of definitely, we've been talking about you really leaning more into your dreams. And so I think you should continue that. And, the moon, and this part really resonated with me, that the moon can show you being asked to take a risk, that you're broadening your life in some way. And, so this is like the kind of like the quintessential, I need to take that leap of faith kind of energy, like take that risk. Because it's asking you to deep dive, right? But it's like taking those, honestly, like those internal risks. Like you got to go really deep inside and decide, like, you know, really what, because it also says that, that it's like you achieved it, but then you're really like, was it all worth it, right? And so really, because in expanding, you get the chance to really form the foundation the way that you want it to be, right? And so, this is kind of like an internal like risk assessment. I feel that you need to really go inward and make some hard decisions about how you're going to, and not even like about the action, but through just, again, connecting with spirit and leaning into, definitely signs, synchronicities, but the dreams, because it specifically said dreams here. I
Well,
think,
and I guess maybe how that resonates to me a lot too is that, and for our listeners, they don't necessarily know, I actually have a day job, a 9 to 5 day job that I have been at for, my whole adult life.
yeah,
And so taking a risk in moving into an expanded business in a physical level would mean giving up that safety net. So that
yes,
also, played into my mind when you were reading that card is, the contemplation between leaving that safety and
yeah.
taking a risk on a business such as the one that I'm asking you to read for today. So that's
And so that's
very
the
interesting.
right. And, and know that like after I go through all these, that, I'll like take a picture of everything, I'll type it up, send it to you. And just for the listeners out there that, I always start with like kind of, it's not like it is an intake form, but not really, just like a agreement between us. And then, I email back like, the interpretations and everything we talked about. So you'll have a record of it and you can refer back to it when needed.
Great.
Okay, so the the next card, okay, so the next card is card answers. How do I bridge the gap between where I am now and where I need to go? Okay, so this is a very specific question, and it's interesting too. Oh, and so far, this is your second Pentacles. So for this reading, this is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, and then we started out with the Ten of Pentacles, right? And for career readings, hold on one second, let me get there. What did I say? That was the Six of Pentacles. Hold on one second. Okay. So for career readings, um, this is from the embroideredforest.com, and this is where I adapted the spread that I'm using. And so it says about pentacles in career spreads. When we think of our careers, we very quickly turn to matters of money, resources, and other assets we need to live. These things are represented in tarot by the suit of pentacles. Seeing a card from the suit of pentacles reminds us to prioritize our health over the pursuit of our careers. It can also suggest the money and the physical goods that come from working, right? And so the pentacles are pretty important in a career spread. And so this is your second, and this is the Six of Pentacles. And so this is property, family, and inheritance. So more money's coming, coming, coming. And so
It
the
can
upright,
rain all over me with that one.
I love it. So this is basically, again, so what you need to do to get from point A to point B. So the upright card shows that money is coming to you. It may arrive as a gift or an award and may be donated by an individual rather than an organization. This allows you to pay off any outstanding debt and or invest into future endeavors. If you have been struggling, this card is a welcome sign that your circumstances are about to improve. And so it's pretty cool that this is hold on, that this is about, how do I bridge the gap between where I am now to where I want to go. So really, support is coming. And so I believe that with this card that that you are doing everything right now that you need to be doing, so continue doing that, and something is going to sync up. We were actually talking about this earlier, but I believe that you're in the midst of your own bridge of incidents, like, which is leading you to your manifestation, of this, the next level, the quantum leap, if you will, even in your career trajectory, right? And I mean, the Pentacles is definitely very telling. It says additional meeting is receiving help or money from a person from your past, or using savings to help. So it just means that there will be a money flow. And so that is what you need to get from point A to point B. I mean, it's very specific. You need money.
And I am willing and grateful to accept all the abundance.
Okay, so the next card, which is, okay, what educational and learning resources do I need? And this one is interesting, especially in light of you working on your Rec A certification. And this is, hold on, let me get here. Two of Swords, 178. Okay. And so you got for this one. And so what educational learning resources do I need? You have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords shows thinking time before a decision. The situation has reached a stalemate. So you can view it as a period of truce or rest, right? And so I always feel like when in doubt, pause, right? And so, this is a time energetically currently right now that you don't need to make any huge decisions about if you need further certification. Um, let's see, as there are two swords in the card, this too can reveal a person you cross swords with. It's likely that you're a difficult person. I feel like this is more to show kind of this is employment issues. This is that you're, because it's the two swords, so it's kind of like you're at a stalemate with either a decision, internally, or something, external that.
Well, and when you're saying that, what I feel like is that at my, and I know it might be jumping back and forth, but at my day job, I feel like I've kind of gone as far as I can there. I still get a
Right.
lot of value out of it, but it's not the type of value that I would get like when I do my healing business. I get a lot of value in the help I give. And I feel like maybe that's what it's referring to, is that, you kind of
Yeah,
met that
well,
stalemate at that one
yeah,
level at there.
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, because it's, it said it's like the tendency is that you protect yourself, have a little peace, but then not take action around it. And so there is a decision that goes back to the earlier, you have a decision. It's not going to go away. But again, the situation right now is at a stalemate, and it's just, you're resting up, you're kind of deciding right now which way. I think that's also why we have the moon, because the moon is always with the, internal kind of, mullings over. Like, it's kind of like you really know what you need to do, already, but you're in a period of Oh my God, this is so funny. But you're in a period of resting before you take your next action. Ooh, I just got a nice chill.
And
Thank you,
it's
great.
true. I really am
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, and I'm not
Yeah,
looking to make any drastic decisions right now. I'm not in that
right.
place yet. And I'm happy at both jobs at the moment. So
Yeah,
I like the confirmation that, there wasn't really anything I need to do right now. Nothing's,
yeah,
impending a decision this second. So I can,
yeah,
take time with the energy. So I having that confirmation from you, and you're right, I do know these things. I have a strong intuition, but it's nice to have it picked up by the energy of the cards. And the way you say it just puts that awareness deeper into my mind because you speak with such conviction.
Oh, thank you. And look at what the next card is, you little manifester, you. The magician. Yay. And so this is how can I plan my funds and resources to align with this dream career, right? And so this is, basically like action, creativity, and success. I mean, you're the alchemist here. So this is a time for action, for communicating and expressing your ideas and desires. So this is the card of the inventor, the traveler, the self-employed, right? And so, um how can I plan, right, to align with my dream career? It's just doing it. Blessed with a magic wand, you have the ability to transform whatever you choose, right? And so the magician is, I mean, it's such a positive card. And so with career and money, there will be a new beginning, either finding new employment, right, or a new direction in your existing work, right? Like, I mean, it's absolutely fine to have a day job. I mean, maybe more of your duties go online so you can be more mobile. I mean, you never know what that's going to look like. And I think that's why, not I think, I know that's why, Great Spirit's saying, you know what you need to do. You're moving forward. You do have this decision. You do need to go internal, meditate, lean in, listen to those dreams and stuff. Ultimately, you know which way you're ultimately going to go, but you don't have to make any crazy jumps. But this is all about, inspired leadership, right? From not only a grounded perspective, but also an enthusiastic individual, right? And so, this is showing you connecting with your higher true self and acting with pure intention. And so take those actions, after going within, getting listening to your dreams. I would really suggest you get a dream diary or,
I
just,
have started. I have
yeah.
started with your advice last time, and actually found one that Apple has, and I can do it right from my cell phone. And
Awesome.
I haven't gone back and read them yet, but I've been doing it for a couple weeks now. So thank you for
Yeah.
that suggestion, because if you don't do it that second you wake up, you forget about it. So it's nice to just
Right.
roll over, grab your phone, and talk into your phone instead of
You know,
actually writing.
that's
Because
a great idea because like this morning when I woke up, I listened to something or heard something right away, and then the dream went away, and then I was like, oh, I was trying to remember it. But I love that idea of just I'll have to get that from you. Yeah, so this is an excellent reading. I mean, the last card that we have is going to be as to what mental tools we need to cultivate to manifest this dream career. So, what kind of mental state do we need to be in, right? Okay, and this is an interesting. Let's see what we got here. Oh, 10 of Wands. I've started noticing like page numbers a lot, and this is on page 222. So I thought maybe that could be significant if twos have been around you
I did
lately.
see 222 today on the clock. So, I mean,
So that's the second time. Usually with synchronicities, like I'm like if I see something like three times in a row, you know what I mean, within a given day, or if it's something really odd and it's like even within a given week, I'm like, whoa, that's so out, out of the
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Okay. And so what, mental tools do you need? So, I can interpret this as like, what state of mind really do you need to be in right now, to cultivate and manifest this dream moving forward. Okay. And so the last card, and you know what? We're going to get another card after this, but this is the Ten of Wands. And so this is all about responsibilities and a burden, right? And so the upright Ten of Wands reveals that you are carrying too much on your shoulders right now. You may have become so used to being overloaded. And this is really interesting because I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier about, so many people are in states of anxiety or states of stress, or states of overwork, and they don't even know they're in those states because it's just become such a normal state to be in,
Mm-hmm.
um so it's a common card for homemakers and entrepreneurs, those of you who must multitask and constantly respond to a wide range of demands. Consider saying no to any future request. And I don't know why I was thinking I needed to I needed to pull another card on this because this is direct action right here.
And very much in alignment to how I felt too, and
Yeah.
not taking on more projects. And, I said that, and then I took the Reiki course, but it really is something that I feel so happy doing. Like, it wasn't, like writing new documents or taking
Right.
more projects on. It was really this happy state to be in.
Oh, so maybe, I mean, just pick and choose, okay? Because this is about what kind of mindset do you need to get into to manifest your dream job, right? And so consider saying no to any future requests and decide which projects or jobs you can stop or hand over to someone else. There's a real need here for delegation and support from others. No one expects you to carry this on your own. And this goes for emotional burdens too. They
Mm-hmm.
need to be shared. The card can also suggest that you may be carrying issues from the past. On a more positive note, and that, and this could also be, energy that you're working on getting balanced in the sacral, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that the sacral, cleanse and meditations will help you with all of this, okay, let's see.
And I feel like there are some burdens that, not necessarily towards my work, but in my personal life, that could be let go of, that no longer need to come with me to make space for the more
Yeah.
enjoyable aspects of my work.
Yes. So yeah. Yeah, it's just, it seems like there is a lot going on, and it makes sense, kind of going back to the stalemate kind of energy that of the Two of Swords, that that you're gonna have to release some of, in order to move forward in one way, the direction that you want to go, which is with your spiritual business. You're going to have to relinquish some of the responsibilities that you have right now. And however that looks, again, there's no, huge rush because you're in a good place. You're not scraping for money right now. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
good, but go within, go to that moon, do some sacral meditations. I'm also going to go in, and that is, I did also want to give you either a choice of, I can pull a angel card for you or an ascended master, and that can just be your go your
Ooh, let's do Ascended Master.
okay. And so this will be a wonderful ascended master that you can work with as you're working through balancing that sacral chakra over I would suggest finding a good sacral chakra meditation. If I was working with a client, I would totally turn them on to, the ones that I listen to a lot online, Steve Noble, and then I forgot, like Meditative Mind, I listen to a good bit. Um, Okay, so let me just get get up here, and then we're going to sacral. Okay, so I wanted to pull a Ascended Master card for you and then read a little bit about some more work on the sacral with nutrition, and then that will be it for our session.
Thank you.
And thank you, Great Spirit. Here we go. Here's our Ascended Master card. Oh, and I don't even know if I can pronounce this dude's name, but he is the spiritual law of attraction. And let me see, it's Melchizedek. I don't know. Let me go to him because I don't even think I've read him before. Let me see. Spiritual law of attraction. That's exactly what you're doing right now. So you're in the midst of materializing. So the situation that you're inquiring about has come to you via the spiritual law of attraction. You've attracted certain people or situations because they mirror your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. And that's interesting because I was just talking to you about the bridge of incidences. Is really when people experiences like you are coming in, to experiences with certain people that are going to further you along in your, career in some way or another. So people and situations that you once found desirable are now moving out of your life as you've shifted your energy through your spiritual path. So like attracts like means that everything and everyone that you draw into your life is similar to your thought patterns. If you want to change what or who you attract, hold more positive, loving, and joyful thoughts. The ascended masters and angels can help you with this shift. So Melchizedek is a priest, king, and teacher of the patriarch Abraham. He's associated with Archangel Michael and Jesus in many ancient spiritual texts, including some who interchange his name with Michael's and Jesus's. Melchizedek is reputed to be Noah's descendant and a great spiritual master of alchemy and sacred geometry. And that's interesting. The building blocks of matter, sacred geometry is that, and that is actually, I just learned the term in my sound healing certification for, it's the science of cymatics, because that is what helps us visualize sound. And so like through sand, and sacred geometry, that's the science of cymatics. So it's really sound being interpreted through some type of matter. So that's interesting that we've been talking about sound healing today, and then here is a good ascended master for you to call in and work with. You can, let's see, your prayers and affirmations have attracted a wonderful new person or situation into your life. The situation is not a reward or a punishment. You have attracted it, which means you can also repel or magnify it as you choose. Visualize and affirm only what it is you desire. So definitely stay solution based. You know what you need to do. Right now, the suggestion is, you're manifesting it. You are the magician. You just need to lay down some of those burdens that you have and love yourself in the process. Uh-huh.
Yay. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just real quick, let me say what okay, so for the sacral chakra. So an imbalance in the sacral chakra, it can present itself as any type of anxiety, low mood, detachment, high sensitivity, with physical symptoms, include like I said again, lower back pain, joint problems, stuff like that. And so definitely stay hydrated, okay? And then some good foods for the sacral chakra are oranges, tangerines, mangoes, peaches, pumpkins, squash, walnuts, flaxseed, and salmon. And so add some salmon. That might, and walnuts, I don't know. I eat pecans.
Did you mean salmon, like the fish?
Yeah, salmon.
Oh, I love salmon. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, in my head, the first thing I was thinking you were going to say was oranges. So it's funny because I don't know that was a fruit for the sacral, but in my mind, intuitively, I just felt it.
Yes, it was intuitive, and it is. So eat some oranges and make some salmon. Get some flaxseed oil. Put that in your diet. That will also help. Okay.
Perfect.
You can like sprinkle flax seeds like on your salads, or flaxseed oil like in your it just has a lot of like minerals and all kinds of good stuff in it. So yeah,
Great.
so that's it for your session. So, kind of first thoughts, takeaway for the combination of sound healing and divination and an energy reading.
I really enjoyed that. And I don't always attribute sound to my chakras. And it's really been something that I've been thinking about a lot more since a lot of the conversations we've had about using your voice and the frequency of your own words as a healing modality. So I really am going to take that into consideration going forward and just start using my voice in a more conscious way because of that. So I appreciate it. And then the reading was so spot on that, and it is, you do kind of have this intuitive understanding of yourself and what's meant for you, but having it confirmed in a way that is exactly what I've already been thinking, it just doubles down on the fact that it is right for me. And then there are little things in my life that I'll need to adjust in order to fully bring that vision into manifestation. But I really appreciate your guidance on that,
Yeah,
and just the way that you explained everything was so straightforward.
wonderful. I'm so glad that you got something out of that, because I definitely did. And, thank you, Great Spirit. And, thank you guys for tuning in, listening. And hopefully you all got something out of it as well. And, it's just always good energy working with you, Jackie.
You as well. Thank you so much for your service today. Thank you all for joining us today as we learned about intuitive guidance as a spiritual healing modality and as what you can expect during your own personal intuitive guided session. Your comments and perspectives are truly important to us, so reach out. If you have a question for us to explore on our show or any other questions concerning our podcast, email us at sexdrugsandspiritualitypodcast@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to contact us about our individual client offerings, please click the link in our description and be sure to mention that you heard about us on Spotify. And we look forward to connecting with our spiritual community at 11:11 p.m. EST every Saturday on Spotify to explore and integrate the shadow side of our reality.
Bye.
Hi,
Bye, my
guys.
friends.
Bye.
Sex, Drugs, and Spirituality Podcast. Elizabeth Maria, Unlimited LLC. And Jackie Lyons of Akashic Energy Healing is not responsible nor liable for any advice, course of treatment, diagnosis, or any other information, services, or products that you obtain through this website.